do it. I just press this early in the morning, when she's on my mind. I'ma take the time, do it how we want. Just to set the mood, girl, I brought some water, yeah, yeah, Chardonnay. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
Hello, my name is Khadija Gordon. I'm a second-year, 5-year MBA major at Hampton University, and I feel that HBCUs are still important. Some students on the Hampton campus also feel this way, and other students, however, do not. Take a look.
I think HBCUs are an important part of our community because they give opportunities to young African Americans that they wouldn't necessarily have at other predominantly white institutions. The HBCUs are geared towards building African Americans up and providing them with the education necessary to succeed in life and pretty much do anything they want to do.
As important, because when you go to college, you're going there for education, not exactly for your social status. I personally think that HBCUs actually don't mimic the real world at all, because in real life, there's not around people who are of the same race all the time. It's a multicultural situation. You don't get that in HBCUs.
I feel that HBCUs are important to African Americans because I feel that they nurture to the African American student. And I learned that in the psychology class that basically African Americans have a different learning style than their other counterparts. So basically I feel like the HBCUs can nurture the student to make them strive to their best.
The main reason I don't think they're important is because I feel like it separates us from everybody else. It's kind of like you don't want there to be racial boundaries, but yet you're separating yourself, and I don't think it makes sense. Plus, we aren't struggling as much as we were. Not to say we're not still struggling, but I feel like if we just integrated ourselves, it would help everyone have a better view of us. Plus, HBCUs, they all have a negative connotation kind of to people that aren't black, I would say, because like this school, I feel like we have low ratings. And so people may be just looking at black people like, oh, well, they're not that good or anything. But if we work with other races and do as good as they do, then we would all have a better view, a better look, I guess.
HBCUs are important because I feel that we as a black community, we tend not to know a lot about our roots and where we come from, and just the fact of the togetherness and the unity. I think that's really important because there's a lot going on in society right now.
I attended Virginia State University, but in high school, I didn't know anything about HBCUs. My senior counselor brought me to a lot of HBCUs, including Virginia Commonwealth.
So I chose to come to a HBCU because where I'm from, I've always been a minority. Like where I live, my schools, elementary, middle, and high school, I've always been a minority. So I wanted something different. And because my cousins, they went to HBCUs, they really persuaded me or really told me to look into an HBCU because they enjoy the HBCU experience. And so when I got to Hampton, I was looking around like, oh my God, like black people, like, oh my God, these are my people. So something like I really enjoy, like being around black people. It's something, a different experience from like me being younger and always been the minority. And I just want to be the majority.
And I chose to go to an HBCU because their honors college program actually offered me a full scholarship, and they came to my church a couple times, and they really got me interested in chemistry and in different programs that they had.
I like how at HBCUs, like the teachers really care about you making the grade or making sure you understand the material, as opposed to what I've heard from like white institutions where like they're just gonna give you stuff and that's it. Like you don't ever have that contact with them outside of class. Or like at an HBCU, you'll be in their office hours all the times. Like you're able to develop a relationship.
I came to Hampton because I got a scholarship, and that was about it.
The experience of an HBCU, I feel like is a great one. For me, it helped me to reaffirm my blackness. It helped me to get in touch with my culture. And I got to see all the black people around me achieving their goals. Also, I achieved self-actualization.
And what I would change about HBCUs is probably the funding. I feel as though we should be funded more so we can, because most people from HBCUs come from poor backgrounds, so I feel as though we should be funded more so we can help each other get an education. And yeah, that's one thing I would change.
Can I come to me?
One thing that I would change about HBCUs, just like with my old HBCU in Hampton, I feel like there should be more resources for the university. And also, I feel like more students outside the business department should get internships. And I also feel like they should be handed to students so they can see how they work and get extra experience. Thank you.
Okay, so if I could change one thing, I would change the financial aid process, because I know some of my friends have a hard time with their financial aid. I know that some of them want to come to school, but they can't because financial aid is not giving them enough money to be able to pay for school. And then second, I would change the whole organization process with the paperwork. I know as far as Hampton, I feel like the paperwork is super slow sometimes. And then the Hampton runaround is ridiculous. Like when I tried to change my major, I went to one building to another building and went back to the original building I was supposed to go to the first time, and I just feel like it's a waste of time and it's very frustrating.
Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere I go, everywhere that I've been, the only thing I see is beautiful people, beautiful people, beautiful people, beautiful people. Don't you know, don't you know, beautiful, don't you know, don't you know,
I mean, I don't want to do
Only
it
at
for no
a
reason.
HBCU.
I don't want to get like this.
Yeah.
I like this though. It's so nice.
I think it look cute with what's in it.
Aww.
You should twist it.
Like
My
all
name's
of it to
Matthew,
be
by the way.
shaved.
I'm Sharice, right?
Oh, shit, I like your hair.
Thank you.
You want to twist my hair?
Sure.
You have the gel to twist my hair?
Yeah, I use the gel in my hair all the time.
Will you do it for...
My hair doesn't usually look like this. I usually curl it up.
It looks cute like
I
that
got you.
though.
Thank you. I just kind of like
That's what you like.
combed it out.
Free 99. Here, free 99.
I believe that HBCUs are important, and after talking to Hampton students as well as being in the seminar, it confirmed my beliefs. I believe that you can't know where you're going until you know where you came from. By being in the seminar, it gave me a chance to talk with a student that went to another HBCU university, as well as a professor that went to a HBCU. When talking to these two people, I was able to realize that HBCUs are were important back then as well as today. I do feel like HBCUs are too easy to get into, so if something I can employ, I would say that the process of applying to a HBCU should change. By being in this seminar, I feel like I was able to learn more about HBCUs and back up my philosophy. I feel like by being at a HBCU, it gives me the opportunity to learn the classroom information as well as learn how to live with people who look and think just like me. I would encourage anyone to come to a HBCU, but make sure you do your research and make sure whatever program you go to is accredited. Thank you.
On the treadmill and only eating salad. Sound so smart, like you graduated college, like you went to Yale, but you probably went to Howard knowing you. Weekend in Miami trying to study by the pool. Couple things do, but you always get it done. Might have been a
Hey you, what are you doing? Are you sitting on your couch? You need to come to an HBCU, like this one. We have great food, living arrangements, everything. Friends, family. What more can you ask for? Now come to an HBCU, like Hampton University.
Are you starting yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys. Oh, okay.
That was mad bright. Okay. Wait, hold on me.
Who'll give you a countdown? In 3, 2.
I was like, oh my God, like it's black people, like these are my people. I really like my HBCU experience. I don't like that because I was clapping.
a little bit.
So you
You know, I'm gonna let you see it before I give it to the
So
girl.
you're
Okay?
gonna edit stuff and say bits and pieces. That's plagiarism.
It's not plagiarism. I'm gonna
Not give. Isn't that what they call it? PWIs.